Greetings, muchachos.
Hi, yeah. Howdy, friends.
Mead for Metal Podcast and all.
We'll be back in a second. It just went all mellow all of a sudden.
Yeah, I don't expect that to be the case with the rest of this album.
Yeah. I mean, this part's actually kind of okay.
It's Death Heaven. Yeah, this sounds really mellow and really chill, and it kind of sounds like some shit we'd usually throw on kind of late around here. But let's not confuse the facts here. Death Heaven is a black metal band.
Yeah. And it's the shrill vocal type, you know?
It is. Yeah, if you're getting into it, what exactly incorporates black metal? Well, it means you've got a drummer. Basically, your BPS is determined by, or BPM is determined by how fast that they can hit the fucking double bass kick, you know?
Right.
That's what it comes down to. Like, oh, so he can go about 150, 170 or something like that. Oh, okay, that's great. And you got to have a lead singer who screeches a lot, and the mix is where he's very, very forward in it. So,
and I don't like that.
That's black metal.
Yeah, and it's not even like legitimate black metal either.
Yeah, I'm not. Now, here's the thing. If you recall, some of you might remember, like, man, didn't this jackass just say, like, last episode or the episode before, he was looking forward to this record? You're correct.
Yes.
It's well, we don't have to like everything, do we? I guess that's the order of the day.
This is America. Don't catch you slipping up. Police be tripping up.
That's it. Anyway, yeah. Mead for Metal Podcast. All our friends out there, greetings to you.
Hi.
If you're not, if you're one of the lambeculos, then we'll just do our level best to oh my.
that was a delayed response from yours truly.
That's when she slips you the tongue, if you know what I mean.
Oh yeah, or like decides maybe to like try that first knuckle on the old pooter.
Shit. Yeah, we get together to talk about Mead, talk about metal, and we mostly talk about shit, not those two things, but
this is a look into the existence of two motherfuckers and occasionally a third.
Yeah, and we're still looking. You know, you'd hit up Ruben to see if he would.
I did, homeboy. Putting in them hours.
He's a working man. So,
He working.
And Ruben is not. And he works a lot. That guy works a lot.
Oh fuck yeah!
So
if he has a plan to do something with a group of people, and then a day later his job says like, "Hey man, we need you," he will say, I'm going to go do that job.
Yeah.
Because he knows he's already worked a full week.
Well, like Sonic collecting them rings, Ruben collecting them checks.
Ruben is driven by cold, hard cash, and I really appreciate that because the man gets to live the way he wants to live.
Yeah.
Because he's willing to put in that work.
But he does make for a terrible, reliable third. So
there is that.
LJ works some odd hours and sometimes is in town, sometimes not. He's got a busy schedule as well. Well, we're all fucking adults. We're all busy.
That's the thing. If we were like 23,
yeah.
We'd do this every other day if we wanted to.
Right. I got somebody in mind. I'm going to touch base with her this next week and see if that's somebody we could look into. But we'll see what we can do. In the meantime, you get us two jackasses, which you've been getting for roughly around 10 years now.
God damn. Oh my God, that hit me right in the gut.
Right in the nuts. Right in the gunt.
That's right. Right in the gunt. Right in the old fupa, if you know what I mean.
You know, mentioning
speaking of fupas,
I don't know if I'm supposed. Yeah, speaking of fupas, we was talking about LJ. No, and the only reason I can even join this in because his day job, he works for one of the biggest corporations in America, and I was a little bit angry today because I went and loaded up on the crap I needed to that I missed yesterday. Yesterday was a shit show all day from the time the alarm clock went off until I started drinking, which was a pretty long stretch of time. It's like 12 hours.
That's a hell of a day right there. Fuck yeah.
And I thought, all right, fine. I bought the necessary shit in order to keep the dog happy. The dog and the fucking feral cats outside get taken care of better than anybody around here.
That's fair.
But yesterday I should have probably bought my bottle of Jack then because so I stopped at Walmart today to buy the shit I forgot. And apparently they had a little boo-boo and accidentally sold some liquor to somebody they shouldn't sold it to. And so now they can't sell liquor today.
Oh, shit.
So,
whoa!
which turned out being great.
Yeah.
Because if you drink cheap whiskey like I do, well, okay, that actually needs a little clarification. My go-to, if I'm drinking it right on the rocks, is going to be Bullet Rye.
Yeah.
Number 2 on that list, and a distant second, but it's still there, is Elijah Craig Toasted Rye.
Ooh, good shit.
But if I'm going to mix it in lemonade and shit like I do, I'm not using good liquor for that. It's going to be Jack.
Oh, sure. Yeah, absolutely.
Bottle of Jack at the grocery store here in town, $20 even. Walmart like $24. Like, goddamn.
You told me you save money shopping local.
Yes.
God damn, that's a rarity.
And yeah, it required an extra stop today, but now I know.
Yeah. Yeah, and man, if you're putting anything into liquor, don't buy good liquor.
No, and I do. I like to mix it with lemonade. I do. Summertime drinking. It's been summertime here lately. Here in late March.
Oh, yes, indeed. Yes.
Which I can only assume by July, well, we'll be fucking, it'll be like going out into the radiated sea and fucking Fallout 4. Right?
Absolutely. I'm glad I played that game. I'll be ready.
Yeah, I'm just waiting for my flesh to fall off the bone at 140 degrees today.
Got to work on my power armor, if you know what I mean.
Yeah, it's, so I've been running the AC here for like 3 weeks, which does not fucking bode well. Once upon a time, my goal, my target was to not turn on the AC till my birthday. Well, yeah, as we all know, it's getting fucking hotter out there.
A lot sooner, too, yeah.
Much sooner and much more searing, I would say. So I ended up having to run the AC about 3 weeks ago. If I was still holding to that, and like, I ain't running the AC, it'd be over 90 degrees in this house because an 80-something degree day outside, add 10, 15, 20 degrees to that.
Absolutely.
And I'm not going to live that way.
Yeah.
I mean,
no, absolutely.
Maybe
You're absolutely right.
Maybe I'll buy cheaper tuna or I'll just load up on Jack instead of Bullet, but I'm running that air conditioner.
It's going to look like ramen and Jack Daniels for a month.
Yeah.
There's your diet right there.
Shin Black and Jack Daniels.
Good God.
Which, by the way, if you're a ramen guy, Shin Black is the way to go, by the way. Just my 2 cents.
Yeah.
I was really, David Chang, what was that one that he had?
Oh, the tongue cut? No,
Mama Foco.
Mama fucker.
And then he started sticking it to the Asian community by trying to trademark fucking, that'd be like
Chili Crunch.
That'd be like if you moved to fucking Korea and decided you're going to trademark green beans. Like nobody else can call them that, just me.
Nope. You just got to call them beans.
And he knew They knew they fucked up real bad because a bunch of Asian grocers started throwing a goddamn fit saying, this is chili crunch. This is a condiment in Asian countries around the fucking half the globe. And this guy's trying to trademark it for his own shit.
Just because America discovered it and now it was a huge thing there for a little bit.
Yeah. Well, David Chang burned a fucking lot of bridges. And one of them is this white boy right here. I will not buy his product.
That was a horrible idea.
Yeah. No, so I'm out on that. The noodles were fine. They were fine. Some of them were actually better than fine.
That purple one was pretty good. I can't remember the flavor.
It was spicy, right?
Yeah.
Spicy noodles or whatever. I don't know. But, yeah, man, I'm spicy chili.
There you go. Yeah, fuck yeah.
But, yeah, if it's something that comes in a purple bag, it's probably spicy chili something because there's a bag of chips that you and Jack like, too, that also come in a purple bag that's spicy chili.
I do like purple. Purple means flavor.
Yeah. Also means a lot of interesting things going on in your cannabis. But anyway.
And, that means it got cold.
Well, or it's got some very psychoactive effects to it.
Yeah.
So, yeah. But, yeah, when it comes down to just cheap store-bought ramen, Shin Black is kind of my go-to. Shin Green, not bad. I mean, that's more of a garlic-based one. But
okay. I do enjoy me some heavy garlic on my ramen.
Yeah, but... do yourself a favor. Don't buy Maruchan anymore. I mean, unless you're jam.
Unless you just want the flavor packets to do something else.
Man.
I used to put those on my popcorn.
I used to do something interesting in that I would boil the noodles, drain it entirely, and then add that dry packet to the noodles and give it a stir. And
Okay.
I don't know that I could do that now because that was quite fucking intense. And I was doing that as a teenager. So.
Yeah, that's the way, it's like my grandmother does the same thing. We ever, will occasionally have a little bit of ramen, and she will drain everything off. Where my brain, I've learned as of 2018 when we went to fucking Tetsuya.
Yeah.
Like, that's the best part. That really is. The noodles.
Broth? Yeah.
The noodles are just kind of there to kind of help get some of it there with a little bit of fucking texture.
Yeah.
But the broth is if it's good ramen, the broth is the best part.
Yeah. So if you've been doing ramen the way I did as a teenager, you're kind of missing the whole point. So
And I've done it too. I'm guilty of it, but I was young and dumb and
needed the money.
needed money.
And if you're going to go out of your way and also do like a soft boiled egg that you can add and add, if you got pork belly laying around or something, but I mean, there are ways you can really, really dress
Spice
it up.
up the joint, yeah.
So I don't know how we get on a track of ramen, but
I don't know, but I'm craving me some fucking ramen. Let me tell you.
Yeah, well, we're gonna go a different direction. Go New Orleans tomorrow. I'm doing muffaletta sandwiches tomorrow, and I only point that out because most sandwiches don't require me to start a day in advance. But I had to make basically like an olive spread, and it's an olive salad, almost like a panade. Sans bread. It's like an olive spread. You throw together with a lot of like jardinera and capers and a bunch of other shit. It's very, very briny, but that is what sets it apart. Otherwise, it's just a deli sandwich.
Otherwise, it's just a sandwich.
Yeah. The bread, very, very specific there as well. You can't buy it around here, so I had to make it. But that also gave me a chance to get a little fucking creative with chemistry in the kitchen and utilize my amylase enzymes that I purchased a while back. And so far, I'd have to say, just judging by 2 rises, it's a game changer on bread making. So,
man.
Well, it allows the yeast to feed more efficiently on the starches and sugars that are present to give it even more lift, and it helps to brown when you throw it in the oven. It helps to kind of give it a little bit more of a photo quality golden to it. I mean,
right.
There's a lot of advantages to that, but I went real nerdy today, and amylase enzymes. That's where it's at,
dude. Well, that's why the folks like you are good to know. Like, I'm never going to grow marijuana. I know there are people out there that are already killing it.
Yeah.
I'll just enjoy the result.
I'm glad that I never got into like meth because because I'm really a big fan of like how chemical reactions work and everything else and what the end result is. And it's like, I'm really glad I never went down that path because that sounds like some shit I would go, huh? No.
Yeah, me too. I'm glad too because when it comes to exploring shit like that, I don't know how it works, but I probably wouldn't turn it down years ago.
Yeah. Yeah, I guess I'm just really happy I never ran with a crowd that was their bag. But because I mean the worst thing is if I'm really high, people say, well, you act really kind of dumb and sleepy, and you kind of lose track of the conversation constantly.
Yes.
I'm like, yes, well, that's a lot better than getting fucking cankers on my face and losing teeth and losing body mass and muscle. I'm really glad I didn't go that direction.
And not to mention the respect of your peers.
Well, because it turns you into a fucking fool, right?
Fuck yeah, it turns you into a monster.
Yeah. So don't do meth, kids. But
look at that.
But feel free to getting high though.
Yeah. Oh, please. As long as you're of age or have a valid medical card from the state you live in.
Yeah, Brandon has to say that. Me, I don't want to point out I started kind of probably, probably what, 14, 15, something like that.
When you got your med card?
No.
Oh, just smoking.
When I began purchasing at high school, and
Oh, I only bought weed from school once.
Well, I lived in El Paso. Everybody had weed, and everybody had really good weed, by the way.
That was kind of the problem here was to find someone because it wasn't even a matter of trust. It was just a matter of a kid that would have access to it.
Yeah,
it was my senior year, and I wanted to try weed. I wanted to try it out. And this kid, who was a buddy of mine at the time, can't remember his name.
Probably not one of them we've brought up on previous episodes.
No, not a part of story time, that's for sure. No, I didn't see this kid after high school. That was it. And he's like, yeah, no, man, I got you. And it was like $10. I had $10, so I paid in advance, which apparently you might get fucked over and just have no money at that point.
Yeah.
But no, dude came through. But the way he came through is like, it was just so. I was in the hallway going to my next class, and I saw him, and he's like, "Hey, Brandon." He just comes over and, like, I shit you not, pulls his bag out.
Okay.
As he's walking toward me.
Good man. Good man.
And then just comes up and puts it in my tit pocket.
There you go. That's a friend to have right there.
Meanwhile, my math teacher, who used to own a radio station around here, was like fucking watching everybody leave.
Fuck that nerd.
Well, he was a Broncos fan. Fuck him.
Yeah. Yeah, an Elway fan, actually. I mean, probably I would say more of an Elway fan than a Broncos fan, which is just unfathomable to me. But
I will say I'll give him credit for helping me graduate. I'm indebted to him for that.
The guy with the weed or your teacher?
My teacher.
Oh, okay. All right.
Well, hold on. That might be a more in-depth answer required there. No, the teacher. The weed wasn't that good.
But like I said, yeah. Pertal's grown weed prior to people growing it industrial around here. Generally, my opinion was it was pretty terrible.
Yeah, mid-'90s swag was awful. Awful.
I moved here in the mid-'90s, and everything tastes like the dirt here.
Yeah, smelled like hay, tasted like dirt.
Sometimes smelled like this is fecal matter, and
occasionally.
And it would smoke really hard and terrible and harsh and everything else, and you'd have to smoke a lot of it just to get where you wanted to be. I was not a fan. I kept traveling back to where I came from, where I moved to from here.
You went back to where you came from?
Yeah. To buy then. I mean, it was worth like a 2-hour, 20-minute drive to go and get my hands on reasonably good weed. You know?
Oh, fuck yeah.
It was all grown hydroponically up in a little alpine town down the road here. So.
Oh, dude. Well, yeah, if you have that as an option, you make that travel.
Yeah.
You do. That's all you do. That's it.
But otherwise, all you got to do, know some fucking good Latino people, and they will hook you up because they always have the best weed.
Yep.
Which really was that was the leveling factor. I don't know why. I'd actually kind of thought of that today. Because I was thinking about, there's a lot of people like they're really being encouraged. The hate is coming back, right?
Hate?
I've heard the N word used more.
That kind of hate
since the first of the year. The F word. I mean, I thought, man, it was a culture. I thought we'd kind of moved beyond and progressed, and we were going to get away from this. No, people are now inspired to spread their hate around a little bit more. But I thought about that. I thought, man, you know what? Once upon a time, I was also stupid. When I began thinking about it, and it's all directly from my mother. And it became really, really clear to me. It's like, wait a minute, where does all this fucking these bad ideas and this fucking horrible hate and racism come from? It came directly from my mother, because I grew up in that environment, man. And I don't know why that memory hit me today, but I was thinking about one of my sisters is married to a Latino. And I can remember I heard my mother say it, and I repeated it, and I was like 5 or 6. And I called him a lazy Mexican. And my brother-in-law is not fucking lazy, by the way. That's a hard-working dude, as a lot of Latinos are.
Sure.
But also, I think you can't go by race. I think every race has got its lazy people. Every race has got its industrious people. Latinos are forced
lazy Irishmen.
Well, but they're forced more into a role of where they got to work fucking twice as hard in order to be able to make the same amount of money in this world.
Yeah, and the stereotype has been peddled of them being sleepy.
And I don't know why, because every Latino I know fucking works harder than every white guy I know.
Oh, fuck yeah. I mean, I'm chatting about my brown buddy Ruben. That motherfucker, goddamn, he is one of the hardest working people I've ever known.
Yeah.
Ever. That is one guy's like, I don't have to worry about him coming to me, be like, hey, man, I don't have a job and I need a couple bucks.
Yeah.
He will always work. Always.
If that guy's out of work, usually by his own reckoning, but
if
he's out of work,
3-month vacay.
That dude will find a job when he's ready to go back to work, and he finds one within the day he starts working.
Yeah. He says, hey, I'm going to go look for a job today, and by the end of the day, he's like, hey, man, I start tomorrow.
Yeah. Yeah. So where's all this going? Yeah, man. I mean, it was a fire that was fucking coal-fed by my mother, and then supported by and reinforced by one of my brother-in-laws that for some reason I respected as a child. What did it take? Well, it took me to get my head out of my ass. I got away from my mother. I got away from my brother-in-law. And I opened my fucking eyes. And I looked around. I was like, wait a minute. What the fuck use is this? It's all it is doing is holding me back.
Right.
And I got educated and I traveled a lot. So
that helps. Education always helps.
Yeah. So, man, I think a lot of us have some pretty bad things, skeletons in our fucking closet, but you can fucking fix that.
No shit. I have current family members that occasionally throw that word out.
Do they travel a lot and are they educated?
Educated, yes. Travel a lot, no. Honestly, it is just good old Texas racism is what it is.
Yeah. Yeah, which a lot of Texans are going, hey, man, well, but it is.
No, I'm not calling out all you motherfuckers, but the racism that is there is fucking profound.
Yeah.
And usually it's all rich white people.
Isn't it weird, though, when you get around like a white person and they look at you and like, oh, you're a white guy, and they start sharing some of their
oh, yes. Think like it's cool. This is cool, right?
Idiosyncrasies in language. And
I'm so glad.
Why would you think I'm okay with that?
I'm so glad they do that. Like old Wobby Beeler.
Yeah. Yeah.
That day. God, that's a name out of the past, isn't it?
Yeah.
That day. When he used the N-word.
Which day? That guy, it was like apparently like 3-4 fucking
honestly, I had to call it when he used it in front of a large group of people that were part of our circle.
Yeah. Yeah.
That day,
and that's how you fix it. You call fucking people out because they'll either fix their own shit, they'll self-repair, or else they'll make sure not to use it around you, which both ways are a win. Although the first way better than the second. But yeah. I mean, self-editing is fine, but actually just fixing your brain is even better.
Right. Well, goddamn, Steve Fields from Deadwood.
Yeah.
No, I mean, I'm not calling out Deadwood on nothing. That is, in my opinion, the greatest TV show ever made by man. And to accurately capture that time, you had to use some colorful language.
Well, and David Milch had even said that Milch. Yeah, had even said that he was one to use like the terminology of the time, but calling what was it Al would call the minors?
Hoopleheads.
It's like that was like the hardest fucking slam on somebody apparently of the time period, calling somebody a hooplehead, and he's like, well, this just ain't going to work.
Yeah. and I'm talking about the character Samuel Fields, who had
he was a general.
He was a general of, I believe it was a 5-star. He was a 5-star general. But there was another descriptor before that. And the character Steve Fields, the fucking racist idiot drunk.
Right.
Who tarred this man. Just the word, that was his word. Until about the 3rd season.
When he got knocked stupid?
When he started working at the livery, and it almost seemed like they were mending mending a bridge. You're not mending a bridge with this man. But there was like an agreement. Because there's a statement he makes says, well, don't murder me and while I'm sleeping, and I won't murder you while you're sleeping.
Oh, a gentleman's agreement.
That's a gentleman's agreement right there. But he didn't use that term anymore after that. But, of course, the very next episode is when he got kicked in the head by a horse and turned into a fucking doofus.
Vegetative idiot.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, he was it was brilliant.
Do you realize Deadwood, like 25 years old now?
God damn.
24?
2001, first season, yeah. Oh, my God.
Shocking, right? Well, almost a quarter of a fucking century.
Yeah, and 7 years since the movie, I want to say.
Not to date myself, but I was to stretch back from the time from my birth to the time then. We're talking about like the end of World War II. It's fucking shocking. Yeah.
Speaking of World War II.
Laugh if you will, sir, but I mean, Korea just got over with by the time you were born in the same situation.
Well, that's good. So. At least I got some goalposts.
Actually, I guess Korea had been over about a couple of years. But oh well, shit. At least you got that going for you, which is nice.
That's right. I had the Challenger explosion, I think.
Oh, the year you were born? Yeah. I was born in Vietnam.
I don't remember
still a thing, man. Shit, are we good on? Do we need to keep trudging?
If we want to throw, we could throw.
We've been a little verbose.
We could throw.
Yeah. Well, I'll tell you what. We're going to be talking some fun shit here coming up. The second half is usually a little lighter than the first. Hey, no politics this time, though. Or very limited.
Sure. Just racist politicians.
Yeah, they're there.
Whoops.
There are a representation of who we are, unfortunately, I guess. But anyway, let's move on and go ahead and get the metal update for the week as we get the lowdown. What's going down with LJ?
Glad it ain't windy.
Give me money for metal, yeah. Oh yeah, you know what time of the week it is. That's right, it's time for the metal portion of the Mead for Metal podcast with your friend LJ. And I consider us friends. If you don't, that's a you problem. Anyway, apologies for noise in the background. I threw a ball at my dog and the dog can't find the ball, and so she's rooting through all my shit. Sasha! Yeah, so anyway, let's get on with these new releases. Now, the first band on this list is Alien Weaponry. I think I've mentioned them before in the past. I could be mistaken, but they have this really cool sound. In case you don't know who these guys are, according to Wikipedia, Alien Weaponry is a New Zealand metal band from Waipu formed in Auckland in 2010. So they were a Maori ancestry. And the album is called Te Re. T-E space R-A with a line over it. And it sounds pretty fucking good. I think that this is probably one of my favorites for this selection, but this is just the first entry of the entire album. Let's see what other albums we got on here. I'm telling you though, Alien motherfucking Weaponry kicks ass. Speaking of kicking ass, there's another band called Under Oath, which is one word, Under Oath. And they are, according to Wikipedia also, an American post-hardcore / metalcore band from Tampa, Florida. The album is called The Place After This One. Oh yeah, this shit's pretty good too. If you're a metalcore fan, I highly recommend this one. Check it out. Oh, but we gotta get for some heavy shit going right now. Have you guys ever heard of the band Arch Enemy? Yeah, me neither. No, I'm just kidding, I have. They actually are one of the few bands that I listened to whenever I was first getting into metal that wasn't Metallica or Iron Maiden, believe it or not. And if you're into women doing death metal roars, just women in metal in general, or just fucking heavy shit, Arch Enemy's new album, Blood Dynasty, is out. You need to hear it. I'm telling you, this is a good time to be a guitarist and a very good time to be a metal fan. Oh yeah. Now, next up is the band Deaf Heaven with their album Lonely People with Power. This caught me completely the fuck off guard because I've never heard of these people before. So it started off kind of like sentimental, soft, low-key, acoustic, very pretty, and then jumped into some fucking screaming and thrashing. I don't know what to think of it. It sounds good, but at the same time, it's sort of like eating something savory with something sour. It's really confusing, but it's not bad, per se. It's gonna be for somebody. I was scrolling through the comments of the videos on YouTube, and people are like, fuck yeah, this is definitely my favorite song. I'm like, okay. So maybe it'll be your favorite song. I don't know. I didn't really dig it, but there's somebody out there who probably will. It would be remiss of me and disingenuous if I was to go ahead and just listen to stuff that I liked and didn't include stuff that maybe other people would like. Growing older is kind of giving me this insightful shit to regurgitate back to you guys. Let's get back to listening to some fucking metal. Oh, but before we go into that, let's give a special mention to one of the re-releases. Ministry has an album out called The Squirrely Years Revisited. Yeah, you heard me right. The Squirrely Years Revisited. And what I was able to listen to, it sounded like some of their older songs. The band's been around since about like 1981. So yeah, they have touched many different genres. Go ahead and check them out. If you're curious about them, this is a great way to catch up on the music. And speaking of catching up on music, Helloween has an album out called The March of Time, The Best of 40 Years. The video I was able to find showed off a little snippet of the older music they did, as well as showing that it's across 5 vinyl albums. Holy shit. So if you're a collector, or just a fan of Helloween, or you want to get caught up on some shit, this may be the best time to go after something like this. Now, if you have less conventional tastes and you want something a little bit more out there and maybe niche, Then the albums, there's 2 albums by Amen Ra coming out. Amenra. I'm not even sure if that's how you pronounce it. I was going to say Amenra, but that doesn't sound right. Anyway, they have 2 EPs. The first one is Detourn, D-E space Toorn, and the other one is With Fang and Claw. Like I said, these are not very conventional, but you'll just have to listen to them yourself, because I have a mixed opinion on them. They're heavy, but they didn't sound good to me. But maybe your ears will pick up something that you like. Now let's go ahead and throw one more in there. We're probably going to end on a low note anyway, because a lot of these bands are kind of confusing. Anyway, Pete Townshend has an album out. It's called The Studio Albums, which is weird because I went to his YouTube channel and there is absolutely nothing about said album. So either Loudwire is lying or YouTube just doesn't have the content on there, which is weird. But anyway, there you go. That's the Metal and Rock releases for this week. I hope you guys have a safe and fun weekend. I work tonight because they fucked up my schedule. But I'm going to go ahead and work on some metal in the meantime. And I hope you enjoy yourselves and listen to lots of cool stuff. LJ out. Take it away, Mead Hall. Hi-yo with tinfoil.
Plunge with the mighty Slayer into the depths of the abyss. Propaganda war about no burial to be. Seasons in the Abyss, the latest album from Slayer on Deaf American compact discs and cassettes. It's going to be a brutal winter. Available at Camelot.
I can say a lot of things about Chevelle, but what I usually can't say about Chevelle is like, holy fucking crap, they made my head move.
Dude, they've always been a very specific type of sound for Chevelle.
But they're always consistent. That right there might be the hardest jam I've ever heard these guys do. And it's off of an album that's not even out yet.
Oh man, I am already looking forward to it.
Yeah, that's that is fucking Chevelle and Rabbit Hole right there.
Part 1.
Yeah, well, it's off of because isn't the album itself? I think. Let me double check this before I'm just talking out my ass here.
Ass talking.
Ass talking. Ass talking time.
I'm talking ass here.
Talking
people.
ass. Yeah, actually, I guess. Maybe Rabbit Hole actually is going to be the name of the album. Cowards Part 1.
Cowards Part 1, yeah, Cowards.
That's the track. But yeah, Rabbit Hole. I don't know when it's coming out. Not soon enough, I would say, is probably the... let's see. Do they actually give us anything here? They do not. I don't know. Stand by. Usually whenever a band starts dropping singles, that means that album's out within 2 months. So.
Yeah, unless you're like Metallica.
Well, that's a little different.
That is one of the biggest bands in the world.
Because they dropped one in January, and that album came out on April 14th of 2022, right? 3 years.
Yeah.
For 72 seasons.
Did that album come out 2 months after I saw him live? Because I saw him live in February 22.
Yes, yeah, and you were upset because they didn't play any of the new shit off the album. They knew what they had coming out.
Oh no, I think it came out in 23. I think. I don't think, because there was no new music. I was about to say Pantera. Metallica, it was a very standard set.
Sounds like it's like some shit involving Phil Anselmo, and I'm not a fan.
Pantera. I might go to that show. It's probably a kick-ass tribute band.
Yeah, 72 seasons, April 14th of 23. Oh, okay, there it is. All right, so 2 years. Coming up on 2 years ago.
God damn,
that's still, man, it's been a hell of a wild ride, though, ever since that thing dropped. But, yeah, they dropped the first single in January, dropped another one like in February and another one in March. They actually put out 3. And then that fucking thing dropped on my birthday. That's why I could remember the date, just not the year.
Well, drinking happened that day. No, that's
Yeah.
And it's gonna be terrible because I won't be able to listen to my 72 season CD anymore.
Yeah, actually, there's a specific reason for that too.
Dun, 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 dun,
Should we get a
dun,
drum
dun,
roll?
Dun 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 dun.
Actually,
dun,
that sucks
dun,
as
dun,
plastic
dun,
table.
dun,
Yeah.
dun.
Brandon became a man today.
I did. My balls dropped. I went right in the cooter, and I got a family now.
Actually, he finally did something he was been talking about for about a year now. Actually,
You're absolutely right. A solid year when I was working at Pigs Valley Production. Well, really, it was always a plan in my mind when I got out of debt to get a new vehicle. But then it was just like, man, I just need something other than this Jeep. This Jeep is fucking held together by sheer will and determination alone.
Yeah.
And I talked about it. The savings account kept going up, and I started getting real lackadaisical about it.
Yeah.
And
Yeah,
not
you
to get-
almost seemed like you started talking yourself out of buying.
I did. I was like, why would I do that?
I just love that money.
I got all this money. Why would I spend it? My God. But about 4 solid years of really buying nothing for myself. Now, granted, I did buy the B. Hines orange fucking amp head, but that's been a dream of mine as well. And various like outings that have brought me joy.
Sure.
But as far as like expenditures of any sort, not really outside of beer, marijuana, and gas for my ride.
Yeah.
That's a country song, I think.
I'm the dummy that keeps throwing money at fucking Sweetwater every time.
Yeah, but you got a lot of cool shit.
Yeah.
But yeah, after all that, I finally put my dick in it. Did it. Pregnated a vehicle. And we're a family now.
That's an interesting way to put it, but all right.
That's right. Put my dick right in it.
You were looking Mazda, but you didn't go that way.
It was really a matter of really convenience because the closest Mazda dealership is an hour and a half, almost 2 hours away, depending on how you drive. And I love the look of the Mazda. The CX-5 was great. Really, it was great. The CX-30 was great, too, for subcompact. But I finally had to be like, look, man, I got to get something that if something fucks up, I can get that shit done nearby.
Yeah. But the biggest problem is that I have, because I ended up overspending on a warranty on the shit box I've got. But, and I only call it a shit box because it's got to get a thing done that's going to cost me over $1,000.
Well, it's a Jeep.
Yeah. Yeah. But and even on warranty, I'm probably still going to be looking at $400 or $500 probably. I bet, and it's going to have to get done elsewhere because there is no good place. There's not like, well, I'm just going to run down to the corner shop here where the dealership is at and get this shit taken. Get them to take a look at it. That is the problem of living in rural America is that you don't really have that option. We have one in town, but they suck. Horribly.
Yeah. There's a Jeep dealership in Clovis.
Yeah, and that's where I would ultimately have to take it, which means then I would have to get them to put a part on order because apparently that shit's going to be coming from fucking Canada.
Ooh.
So that's going to be
You might want to get on that if you want to get it done.
Well, the problem is supply chain issues are still there.
Yeah.
And then now they don't really like us. I don't know if Russia's making anything. I guess I could probably get shit from Russia now, right?
I guess.
I don't know. Maybe. But the problem is the fact it's a module and it's not a cheap one. Could I do it myself? Honestly, the answer to that is yeah, I sure fucking could. The problem is that it has to get programmed. And that's where they charge you an hour of labor for really just driving your vehicle around for 5-10 minutes and getting it all fucking ironed out on their diagnostic machine, get it all programmed, you're good to go. But you're getting bent over for an hour, and that probably getting bent over for probably about a solid 2 hours on the other labor. So, and dealerships charge $200 an hour. So,
right. Yeah.
Unit cost is anywhere from $600 to $1,000. Labor probably $500-600. It's not a thing I'm looking forward to. So I just drive around with a bunch of lights on my instrument panel.
Well, again, that's actually one of the Jeep experiences.
I've never owned a vehicle as bad as this in terms of what the fuck. Legitimately, I don't know. I might just keep driving this fucking thing the way I have been, double down a little bit on a couple of things, leave my biggest credit card that I'm just going to do battle with eventually, and but clear all the others and go ahead and buy a car. Fuck it.
Well, that's kind of what I did with my Jeep. I was driving it until I could no longer feel like I was driving with a modicum of confidence.
It's a problem because I've got it now where like a brake light will come on and it'll hold the gear that it's in. So if I'm doing this off of a stop, it's like first, second gear, and it's gonna hold there. Now if I just keep driving straight and keep keep looking at the tack at about 5,000 RPMs, eventually then that light goes off, goes boom, and it drives normal for the moment, but. And I know that's, and I know everybody would say, well, it's not a safe situation. Well, yeah, but man, it is what it fucking is. I don't have a second vehicle to go, well, I'll just drive this now, I guess. I don't.
Would you be interested in a 2012 Jeep Liberty?
No.
Well, all right.
No.
Then.
Unless we're going to like do some like Dukes of Hazzard shoots, and like set up a ramp and,
Oh, just see how much life that thing has left? Let's do it, shit.
Hit that ramp.
Yeah. Oh, shit. New ride, good times.
Yeah.
This is a first for me. This is the biggest purchase I've ever done in my life. I've never had a new vehicle.
Yeah, man.
Every vehicle I've had has had a quirk. My first vehicle, we were talking about this earlier. My first vehicle was a 1983 Buick Century.
Wow. Okay.
Had cruise control when it worked.
Yeah.
Had a tape deck when it worked. It had a odometer when it works.
Didn't you also have a probe at some point?
I had a 96 Ford Probe. That was
I remember the fun stories with that.
That was the first vehicle I'd ever put pen to paper on. Of course, I had my grandfather co-signed on it for me. And that was the one I eventually tried to Dukes of Hazzard off the 19th Street exit off Loop 289 in Lubbock, Texas.
Well, that's what that town's built
Don't
for.
try to take that exit going 70 mile an hour. You ain't going to make it.
Yeah, one of the real tight hairpin turns.
Dude,
huh?
oh, yeah. And it was my first time driving in Lubbock, and someone screams out, that's our exit. I've never driven in this situation before. That was the first time driving in anything. It's like, you need to get out of here if you want to get over there.
Yeah.
Now it's a piece of cake. I'm a traveled boy.
Yeah.
And now traveling in a 2023 Chevy Trax Active. By God.
Traveling now fucking works because, we got a ride more reliable than my own to go to see Maynard's birthday.
Sasata's going to be good. And Daryl, if you're listening, we'll make some plans down the road, huh?
You know he is because, that was the whole thing. He's like, man, Brandon, he said, get on that, buy on that ride. And it's like, I don't think he realized, like, let's just chat between you and I. But, okay. I'll let him know.
That's all right. If anything, even that fucking kind of helps nudge a motherfucker to be like, you're absolutely right.
Yeah.
And I love driving. I love driving so much, especially if it's like fucking road tripping to some kick-ass.
Yeah.
And now being able to fucking be the conveyor of that now.
Albuquerque in a month. We'll get down to Austin at some point for one of Daryl's shows.
Oh, absolutely.
And we got Wardruna coming up in San Antonio in September.
That is officially fucking on the table for sure.
Yeah. And that's not to discount that, man, we may still be able to catch a Deftones tour swinging through.
Yeah.
You never know.
Chevelle in September, probably touring on a new album.
Yeah, apparently.
Which might be a fucking banger.
Yeah.
The year for music is looking so bright.
Probably in many ways, probably a little bit better than I would say that 2024 was. And 24 had some promising opportunities. Fuck, we started the year with Tool.
Yeah, that is, and between that and music releases, we were pretty spoiled in 24.
But
25 has been on point. The new Pelican is fucking amazing.
Yeah.
The new Chevelle, the thing was not on my radar, is goddamn incredible. There's just so much. 40 Watt Sun. I'm still waiting on that goddamn tour fucking announcement for the U.S.
Should get you some sad bastard.
See, that's
music.
what I was holding on to. Instead of getting a car, I'd just give that guy like $5,000 to come down here to Portales and play a concert. He'd have done it.
Probably.
He'd have done it. It's just him. I don't want the whole, because if it was like the band Warning he had before 40 Watt Sun, then yeah, because that's fucking metal and that's crazy.
Yeah.
40 Watt Sun, just Patrick Walker. You are there. You're not there to stand up and stomp your feet and light a match for nothing. You are there to soak it in.
Right. Well, same with Wardruna. I mean, you're not there to rock.
I don't know, man. Even that, I kind of fucking feel like I'm still like getting ready.
So aside from all the ones we've talked about, what is one that would be coming up this year that, or even if you don't know if it's coming up this year, what's the thing that you need to get into? What's the thing you desire to see
in a live setting? God damn, that's a very broad, diverse question. I really, goddamn. It would have been cool to see Tantric and Pertalis. That'd have been cool. But that one also, I forgot that was happening the day it started.
The day I asked you, like, hey, you going to go see Tantric?
Like, I like that. You're like, I guess you're not going to that concert. And I was like, what concert? Oh, the Everclear and Saliva thing. Saliva and go fuck themselves. Everclear.
Wow, you're bigger on Everclear than Saliva.
Yo, of course. Well, yeah. Fucking, if anybody answers differently, well, I won't say what you are because we're in a progressive society,
right?
But Everclear is that's the band. Don't you want to hear that motherfucker sing "Everything Is Wonderful" now?
Buy a new car.
Yeah. I ain't buying you shit. I ain't buying no garden.
New car. Yeah, because that sounds almost like your anthem for the day, though.
Yeah. I'm in it for the car. I ain't in it for the garden where those flowers can bloom. Let me tell you.
We were talking about, and I mentioned Mazda. Did you actually mention, because I had to jump up and throw some bread in the oven, did you actually mention what it is you buy?
Yeah.
Okay, Chevy Trax. Man.
Chevy Trax Active.
I got to say that was something that I was not even really aware of. But apparently I think everybody is like coming around to doing like a style of AUV of their own. Man, at first I had to do kind of a double take when I looked down. I thought, wait a minute, goddamn, that guy go ahead and buy a Mazda because it has a really similar profile.
It does. It's that subcompact SUV look. Now, in comparison to like while I was driving in the Jeep, I had way more head clearance. But it's not like, I'm not sucking dick in my own vehicle. That wouldn't be couth.
No, you don't want to be like with your head lowered in a brand new ride that just doesn't fit you.
And I'll be honest, the first time I stepped in one of those, head touching the seat, I'm like, well, this is bullshit.
Yeah.
I'm like, well, this is clearly out. I can't. I'm like, how can I drive comfortably like this?
Does the seat not move down?
Well, the fucking package I have has 6-way power on my seat, and I can lower that motherfucker. Which all of a sudden is like, wait a minute, this is very comfortable. Lumbar support, heated seat. I thought I had fucked something up because the steering wheel started getting really warm.
Oh yeah,
heated steering wheel.
Yeah.
This thing it's just like a cell phone, really. It has so many fucking features that I'll probably never use.
Have a little vibration comes up to tingle your balls.
I have to add that myself, but that is on the list. But it's a weird shock to go from everything I've driven's been analog, everything.
Sure.
Everything. And now it's not. Everything is fucking just you're on the fucking bridge of the Enterprise, pretty much.
That's awesome, man.
Yeah. No, I'm happy with it. And that's all that matters.
And so you got that. So that's great news for you this week. LJ touched base with me last week. Guy bought an Epiphone Explorer, which I wasn't 100% sure. I didn't know that they had many.
Oh, fuck yeah. Lizzie Hale has a signature Epiphone Explorer from the Hale store.
Yeah. Yeah, that's Lizzie Hale, though.
Yeah, it is.
We're living in a progressive era, so I got to move on. Yeah, but... So, dude, but it wasn't new. It had considerably used, and
sure.
And LJ is going through and pulled all the electronics on it the other day, and dude's going to fucking restore that.
Somebody's going to do gold hardware, right?
Now you start getting into some of that stuff. I don't know, but I am kind of excited to kind of follow that guy's journey on the build on that guitar.
Absolutely, yeah. Once that thing's up and rocking, need to bring that bitch out to the meat hole.
Yeah. Oh, absolutely. Yeah. I just gave it a quick glance. I thought, man, this guy bought a fucking Explorer. Bring that shit down here and we'll jam. He's like, well, I got to do this. And it was like, oh shit, it's
a project guitar.
He's rebuilding this thing. Is what it is.
But out of all the guitars in the world, even the fucking Iron Cross LTD that I own. That's my second favorite body type right there. Almost like not the SG, like that. Yeah, no, like that kind of Gibson body.
Right. Well, that's like a Les Paul body.
Thank you. That's the word I was looking for. But the Explorer body is probably overall, as far as aesthetics alone, my favorite body of a guitar.
Yeah, but if you're a guitar player and you've played for a long time, those angles aren't your best friend.
No, they're great if you're just standing up.
Right.
And that's all you're doing, which I do stand quite a bit. But if you're trying to sit down and rock, an Explorer is kind of hard to saddle.
Yeah, a little tough. But yeah, so man, I'm excited about your purchase. I'm excited about LJ building up that guitar and shit like that.
Yeah, man.
Excited about getting Ruben back down here on a podcast again here before too long.
A lot of good shit going on. Usually joy can be kind of hard to find. But if you put $12,000 down on some joy, you're guaranteed some joy.
You're going to get that down on joy.
I can't believe I wrote a check for $12,000 today and just handed it. There you go.
There's some money.
There's that money that I've been holding on to like Gollum.
Well, not to mention that, I mean, the work that you'd put in to get to where you're at, but to secure that financing, everything, and so you're essentially going straight right around their financing department. Fuck you. This is already taken care of by this lender that's backing my purchase, which I had to go through financing at a dealership, and I was a big fan.
They tried to convince me to go through a different bank, and I was like, no, I want this one because I know what the payments will be right off the bat.
Yeah,
that way, because it was always my plan to get a little bit more of an extra warranty on it, and I had a figure in my head of per month what I could eat.
Man, but the dealerships, it's all about fucking control. They were like, no, let us handle that finance. There are banks that we like to work with, so we can get you a better. Blah, 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 blah. No, what they're doing is they're trying to. It's more power and more control.
Sure,
and because if you walk in, it's like, this is what I got. They don't like that. They like to be the ones that handle the whole fucking thing from start to finish, bullshit you with things like that, get you into a ride you didn't want in the first place, give you shitty financing terms. You're able to do it on your terms, and that's what's important.
If fucking banks just sack and be like, well, okay, here's a check for the money you need to cover what you will pay for per month. And I realize the game don't work that way, but God damn it, to have these motherfuckers waste 2 hours of your time to try to give you shit you don't want or need.
No, that's a fact. That's a fact.
Like, no, man, no. I did the work. If anything, I made your job easier. I did the work for you.
That commission, huh?
Yeah, the fuck yeah. Knock $1,000 off that bitch.
I am my own salesman.
Better than being your own grandpa.
Or being your own whore, although
I'm my own whore. Now that's without.
I do service myself.
That's right. That's the only person I service is me.
Oh shit. Okay. Our people who listen to this, they used to really get a joy out of it back when we covered a lot of MMA, and we decided not to because Dana White's a piece of shit. But we decided to drop that, and that allowed us to focus mostly on Mead and metal and things of that nature.
Mead, metal, and our own personal existence. Yeah.
But I am getting a little bit excited. We're going to get a fight a month that's kind of worth it out of the UFC. There's one coming up on April 12th that's a big one. We got one coming up in May that's a big one, and we got one in June, late June, that's coming up. It's the International Fight Week. If all cards hold, I'm getting a little excited. But the June one, International Fight Week, apparently still some work getting done trying to get a Jones-Aspinall fight.
Yeah, and that card's at T-Mobile because that's Fight Week. Yeah. Fight Week happens in Vegas. Yeah. I got a funny feeling in my bones that they, pun intended, that they are going to wait for the MSG card.
You're not wrong because
they run that shit in October, November.
I don't know why they do this, but the UFC, they John Jones. Oh, that guy's from originally from Long Island. Let's go ahead and have him on an MSG card. Well, yeah, but the guy's been an Albuquerque resident for fucking 15 years.
Yeah, does he have a criminal record in New York City? Because he's got one here in New Mexico.
Speaking of criminal records, so you got Cain Velasquez, who just got 5 years in prison. But they would always, that guy was from California, went to Arizona State. If it was a card in Mexico City, they had him on it.
Yeah.
because
To his detriment.
outside of like, yep, he's Latino. Let's have him fight in Mexico. Well, he's not from fucking
He's not.
Mexico.
He's from Arizona or Glendale, right?
Right, yeah.
Go from 0 fucking sea level all the way up to fucking a mile to defend your belt.
None of this shit makes sense to me.
No.
And they do, and they bend over and kiss Leon Edwards' ass, and he can't seem to get a win in his own home country.
Oh,
now.
no, that motherfucker's shit might be done.
I think so. He
got dealt with.
He cannot handle wrestling, and that was by Brady. This guy is and if your name's not Tom and the GOAT of the NFL, you're probably just a middling wrestler, really. And that's who Sean Brady, right?
Sean Brady, yeah. And he made him look like a douche.
Ragdolled that former champ.
Finished him. Made him tap.
And Leon and I got angry about this because his camp basically said, well, the last time around was a fight in the UK, and so we had to be on the TV schedule for the United States. So he didn't
Fuck you.
It's like you're making fucking excuses. What, he was tired?
Wouldn't hear that if he won. You wouldn't have heard that at all.
Isn't he a professional fighter? And then they did one in the UK again. And this one, 2 p.m. start time, and he got fucking title discussion. Shit, that guy drops another couple of fights. He may not be with the promotion anymore.
I mean, I'll always appreciate what Leon Edwards did to Colby Covington, but I feel like that if Colby Covington actually come to fight in any of those fights, he would have won that belt.
Yeah, but it turns out Colby Covington's not
he ain't
great.
He ain't there to fight.
Yeah.
He is there to fucking pretend.
Yeah.
He's there to play games.
He's there to be utilize wrestling lexicon and attitude while providing almost as good an appearance as his opponents.
Oh, God, that big old stupid severed Trump head he wears around his neck.
Oh yeah, Trump, the guy that got up in the middle of his fight when he was getting his ass kicked and just walked out. Yeah,
we don't talk about that.
Yeah, perfect.
God damn. Motherfuckers.
We about out of time?
Let's get out of here.
Oh, shit. All right. Yeah, I got to get some bread tended to anyway. All right.
That's right. I'm going to go out and look at my vehicle more.
Yeah, man. Go out and jerk off. All right.
That's right. It's got a sunroof, so at least I can keep it ventilated and privacy.
Yeah. Well, if you got a really tall passenger, they can stick their head out the top like out of something out of the goddamn Flintstones.
Yeah,
right?
Amazonian women are probably out of the question. I don't know. That middle row in the back does fold down. We get creative.
Go get yourself an Amazonian lady. Though.
I only had one.
Chevy tracks, always better than needle tracks. And pecker tracks. All other kinds of tracks.
Pecker tracks?
Yeah. Wedding night, you accidentally I'm sorry, I leaked on your dress a little, baby.
I've never been married.
I've only done it twice. Never again.
God damn it, let's get out of here.